Notice of this meeting has been provided in accordance with the provisions of the Open Public Meetings Act, NJSA 10:4-6, and published in the Asbury Park Press on January 5th, 2009.
Thanks. We have a roll call, please.
Mayor Coles?
Here.
Deputy Mayor Miller is absent. Committeeman Lichtenstein?
Here.
Committeeman Ackerman?
Here.
Committeeman DeLeo?
Here. Let's rise for a salute to the flag. Please stand for the prayer. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Our Heavenly Father, we humbly ask thy blessings upon this township committee and all those in authority so that they may serve the people. Look down with mercy on our weakness and stretch forth your divine power to guide us. All this we ask in thy name. Amen.
Move open session. Moved by Mike. Second by Isaac. All in favor? Aye. Okay, good. Motion to approve the executive workshop and regular minutes for January 24th.
Move.
Moved by Mike.
Second.
Mayor, discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Seeing none, motion carries. There's no land sales or presentations, so let's open up the meeting to the public. Anybody who'd like to be heard, please come to the microphone, state your name and address for the record.
Standing room only crowd, isn't it? Is it like this every week these days? No.
More or less.
No, it's pretty sad. Harold Herskowitz, 1496 Cedar Road. Anything else you need to know? Social Security number? No, good. Okay, I'm here to just comment. I'm going to give my usual disclaimer. I hate coming to meetings, and I don't usually come to meetings. This is an exception. I saw something that was on the agenda today. People sent me a resolution to condemn an organization called Rise Up Ocean County. I don't know if anybody's ever seen the website. I've seen the website. It has quite a bit of anti-Semitic speech on the website, comments, similar to what the APP has in their comments usually. I just find it quite ironic that our township committee is condemning what they call anti-Semitism, when I feel that they are probably the biggest cause of the sentiments and feelings of these people that are on these websites. Most of the comments, if you'll notice, are not comments that say Jews are vermin, Jews are evil, Jews are horrible, they're taking over the world. The comments say things like, the Jews run the planning board, the Jews run the zoning board, the Jews run the township committee, they work for developers, they are out to help themselves, the properties, they're out to help their friends, and they're corrupt. And that seems to be the sentiment that pushes all this anti-Semitism. And unfortunately, it brings out the worst in people. They don't stick to the issues, they don't stick to the problems, they end up going on tangents, and we all look bad. And we all look bad, all the Jews of Lakewood end up looking bad, basically because of you. And the people you've appointed that have been taking advantage of this town. And people know it, and you can't cover it up by making neighbors info or putting in articles in local newspapers that make Jews look just like everybody else. You know, making Jews say, and getting up and saying, hey, we also like sushi, we also like Bon Jovi. That doesn't work. It doesn't work. The best way to show them that we are good people is to act like good people. And unfortunately, we don't look good because they think that we are all complicit in your actions. And the truth is, I know there's nobody here protesting, but we are not complicit in your actions, because what I'm saying right now, there are thousands of people who feel the same way as me, but they're scared. And they have a right to be scared, because we see what happened to an older couple that protested a big project that, there's so many hands in this project, but we know that something fishy happened to them, right? And myself, I'm being sued by a local charlatan, I guess, I don't know what I would call him, who's involved with members of the township committee in dealing with properties because he thinks that I'm out to get him, which is, nothing could be further than the truth, but he's out to silence whoever he thinks is going to get in his way. So I'm just here to tell you, cut it out. Just cut it out. If that's what you really want, if you really want to stop anti-Semitism, show them through an example. Show them that Jews take care of their properties. Show them that Jews can come into a town and make the town a better place and not a worse place. Okay? One of the township committeemen, I spoke to him about 8 years ago, and I asked him, I said, how many people are we going to build houses for in Lakewood? How? At what point are we going to stop? And he said, when it's full. So I said to him, I said, so basically what you're telling me is we're going to do this until there's no more room and it's unlivable. I'm wrapping up. And we're going to do this until it's unlivable. And he said, yeah. And then I said, then we're going to just move to the next town and make that town unlivable. I said, why don't we stop and make sure that it's livable and safe and be proud of what we've created, and then move to the next town and let that town be safe. So I'm just here to say I'm condemning your condemnation of this website because I understand where these people are coming from, and you should too. Thank you.
Moshe Zainis from Boulevard, Lakewood, New Jersey, 08701. First of all, I just wonder if we're going to have 4 people taking video of me too.
We're already on live.
Yeah, just two things. One, I just wonder. I think I actually emailed you about it. I wondered about there was a bill that what? Yeah, that one. Basically, real quickly, the Senate and Assembly passed a bill, which now there's all this talk if the governor will sign or he won't sign. I just wonder. I understand Public Works over here maintains the storm water management. They assess a fee. I'd asked the township manager in an email a couple of months back, like how long that money lasts. He wrote back that he didn't know. And then I understand that there is also like this bigger drainage problem, not only in Lakewood, but the whole state. So that's why I wondered. So I just wondered about that. The other thing real quick before my time ends is just about the court here. Luckily, I'm not often here in court. I had a friend who was in court. I'm not sure exactly how the court runs. I don't know exactly what the laws are, who's in charge of what. But I understand that there are times when people have to come for like a first hearing or whatever, like see the judge. And let's say there's 2 people involved, like a car crash where there's 2 people. The judge says, okay, so he calls the case and says, okay, so you'll get notice to come back. We'll let both sides know, and you'll come back. There are a bunch of times where these like first hearing stuff, and I think that the court gets clogged up a lot of times by these things, and I don't really understand what is advanced by going, what gain there is to the town or to the court by someone showing up just to hear from the judge that will send you a notice to come back. So I'm wondering if that some of that stuff could be done administratively. I mean, like I said, I don't know if it's a law or if it's just done this way or if it's overlooked. I just think that there's a clog up at the court. I had a friend today who came and he said that that's what happened. I think he was in a car accident with someone else. I don't know who was right or who was wrong, but only he got called to court. The judge said, okay, you're here, this is the first time. We'll send you and the other guy a notice to come back. And then, when you see you can't park for 3 blocks or you see the whole court is full, I don't know, I wonder if there's a point to all this. That's my opinion.
Your first question, we're still looking at it, we're running our engineers and public works will see what.
I mean, you still have to have the governor's sign off first.
I'm in the current mayor on the set, because I'm not moving the system.
I'm not exactly sure which case you may be talking about. I know that especially. So I know that in general the judge does try to move the municipal calendar, but I will reach out to our court director and find out if that's happening often and the right way to address it.
Okay, thank you. That's it.
Thanks.
Ultimately, doesn't Richter, 16 Birch Street. We have gathered tonight to condemn a certain Facebook page. Wouldn't it be much more appropriate to oppose the upcoming Pride Month? The Blue Claw Stadium is having a Pride Night, and I have not heard a word from any of you condemning this action. In addition, this disgusting celebration will take place in front of children. It's about time you get your priorities straight. Today, I was in Trenton, together with another 5 wonderful Jews, to oppose the assisted suicide bill that is currently in the process of passing. And it is beyond words a disaster, because this could mean pulling the plugs from your loved ones. This could mean the whole list. Whenever a person is in a situation which they're in a very, very bad mood or whatever, assisted suicide will lead to a lot worse things. And it's very, very important to mention it. I just want to say one more thing before my time is up. I do driving around Lakewood, and I've spoken to some boys from a yeshiva called Nekar on Sims Avenue. Some developer brutally demolished the beautiful forest around the yeshiva, which I know for a fact that so many of the Bachrim used to spend their recesses in the forest. They used to be surrounded by nature so they could have a peace of mind to learn properly. This great forest around the yeshiva was torn away from these Bachrim and Rabbeim so that somebody could make an extra few dollars and tear away millions of dollars worth of quality from boys that grow up around nature. This is a crucial, crucial subject because there are many yeshivas around town, and the quality of our Bachrim is beyond words bigger than the Bachrim that grow up in the city. And that's another aspect. I just want to say one more thing. We Jews are not in need for funding from other people or from the government. We are the ones that support other people. We don't need anyone to support us. Especially, we don't need ones that disagree with our way of thinking to support us. Now, the upcoming Pride Month in the Blue Claws Stadium, what I say that you should do is you should threaten to terminate the lease from Blue Claws for putting up the LGBT flag and encouraging our youth and older people to be immoral and to do sins. And by the way, Hurricane Sandy wasn't a coincidence. It was God punishing New Jersey for all the sins that we do and all the sins and pride of sin that we're promoting. This is a very, very crucial subject to take care of all these issues. And we should be Lakewood, and the Lakewood politicians should be a role model for all the townships around New Jersey. We should be a role model to show them how beautiful it is to be close to God. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
David Druberoff, 1433 Laurelwood Avenue. Mr. Richter has been making statements that the government should do something about homosexuality due to immorality. He should reconsider because of the people who agree with him. About 80 years ago, there was a country that hated homosexuals so much, they forced gay people to wear pink triangles, while Jews had to wear yellow stars of David. Many were sent to prison, and some died in concentration camps, although the death toll is not known. In addition, some gay people were subjected to medical experiments to cure their homosexuality. The experiments were performed by graduates of the Bengala School of Medicine. When the war ended, the gay people were sent to prison, even though some had been in concentration camps. Their status as victims was not recognized, and they received no reparations. The U.S. Holocaust Memorial Museum is the source of much of this information. I would suggest that Mr. Richter see a film called Trembling Before G-D. It is a film about Orthodox Jews who are gay. Most of the people who appear in the film are heard, but not seen. I also suggest that Mr. Richter contact the VREA Foundation. They provide social services for Orthodox Jews who have AIDS. Never forget that the government that can give you anything you want can take everything you have. As for this assisted suicide bill, it is for the benefit of those who are terminally ill. I've had to deal with this very recently with my own mother. I wanted her to go on living. She could have been treated. Unfortunately, it took a long time to finally get someone to take care of her, and my mother would have been seen last month. Unfortunately, my mother got tired of waiting. She starved herself to death. I would have wished that she'd still be alive. Unfortunately, it didn't happen. Thank you.
Anybody else? Seeing nobody, will close the public hearing. Is there anything that anybody would like to remove from the consent agenda? Can I have a motion on the consent agenda?
I'll move it.
Second.
Moved by Mayor, second by Mike. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Moving Ackerman.
Yes.
Moving Delia.
Yes.
Moving Lichtenstein.
Yes.
Mayor Cole.
Yes. The ordinance is for second reading.
Ordinance of the Township of Lakewood County, Ocean State, New Jersey, authorizing the acquisition by eminent domain or purchase of a gift of Block 490, Lot 27, Johnson Avenue, as shown on the tax map of the Township of Lakewood pursuant to and in accordance with NJSA 48, Form 12-1 and set.
Thanks, Kate. Open the meeting to the public on this ordinance. Would anybody like to be heard? Seeing nobody, will close the public hearing. Motion. Moved by Isaac.
Second.
Second by Mike. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Moving Ackerman.
Yes.
Moving Delia.
Yes.
Moving Lichtenstein.
I'm not voting on this one.
Mayor Cole.
Yes.
Ordinance carries. Ordinance of the Township of Lakewood County, Ocean State, New Jersey, authorizing the tax collector to cancel any and all taxes for the tax year 2018 due on Block 25.06, Lot 17, 1518 Tanglewood Lane, Congregation Sarah Theta, Inc., pursuant to and in accordance with NJSA 54:4-3.6C.
Open the meeting to the public for this ordinance. Would anybody like to be heard? Seeing nobody, will close the public hearing.
Move.
Moved by Mayor. And second by Isaac. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Moving Ackerman.
Yes.
Moving Delia.
Yes.
Moving Lichtenstein.
Yes.
Mayor Cole.
Yes.
Ordinance carries. Ordinance of the Township of Lakewood County, Ocean State, New Jersey, authorizing the tax collector to cancel any and all taxes for the tax year 2018 due on Block 284.06, Lot 21, 244 Sunset Road, Congregation Base Madras Iron, pursuant to and in accordance with NJSA 54:4-3.6C.
I'll move it. Oh, sorry.
Open the meeting to the public for this ordinance. I know you're going. Seeing nobody, will close the public hearing. Moved by Mayor.
No, I'll move it.
Second.
Second by Mike. Discussion. Roll call, please.
Moving Ackerman.
Yes.
Moving Delia.
Yes.
Moving Lichtenstein.
Yes.
Mayor Cole.
Yes.
Ordinance carries. Ordinance of the Township of Lakewood County, Ocean State, New Jersey, amending the ordinance of the Township of Lakewood County, Ocean State, New Jersey, entitled Industrial Commission of Revised General Ordinances of the Township of Lakewood, specifically Section 2-38.8.
Open the meeting to the public for this ordinance. Would anybody like to be heard? Seeing nobody, will close the public hearing.
Move.
Moved by Mayor. Second. Second by Isaac. Discussion. Roll call, please.
Moving Ackerman.
Yes.
Moving Delia.
Yes.
Moving Lichtenstein.
Yes.
Mayor Cole.
Yes.
Ordinance carries. Ordinance of the Township of Lakewood County, Ocean State, New Jersey, amending and supplementing the ordinance entitled, an ordinance establishing the annual minimum and maximum salary ranges for the officers and positions of persons employed by the Township of Lakewood and the County of Ocean State of New Jersey, and providing for an effective date 20 days after publication and for final adoption.
Open the meeting to the public for this ordinance only. Would anybody like to be heard?
Yeah. I totally oppose it. Once you start regulating how much you could pay someone for work,
that ruins the industry. The way to bring up wages, there's many other ways how to bring up wages, but not forcefully. That's all I have to say.
Thank you. Anybody else like to be heard? I'll close the public hearing on this ordinance. Can I have a motion?
Motion.
Moved by Mike.
Second.
Moved by Isaac. Discussion. Roll call, please.
Committeeman Ackerman?
Yes.
Committeeman Delia?
Yes.
Committeeman Lichtenstein?
Yes.
Mayor Coles?
Yes.
Ordinance carries. Ordinance of the Township of Lakewood County, Ocean State of New Jersey, releasing, extinguishing, and vacating the rights of the public to a paper street known as Chevy Lane.
Moving to the public for this ordinance.
Moshe Zainis, ZEIDS, 112 Elmhurst Boulevard, Lakewood, New Jersey, 08701. I understand my good friend, Mr. Brian, is here to answer questions. I just wanted to ask, I understand with this ordinance, the road, which happens to be 2 blocks away from me, would be a private road. So I wanted to ask if they could, the applicant would agree to, on their own, install no parking signs along the road. I understand from the planning board minutes, the road is going to be a narrow road. Going back to 2011, I think that was why John Franklin wanted this to be a private road. So that's my question. Brian is here.
Mr. Flannery, you know the mind of your client?
The client's not here.
Come up and
See, it's our honor to bring Brian to this board. I mean, that's all the others.
Brian Flannery, Jackson, New Jersey, licensed professional engineer, professional planner. The client's not here. The road is the same width as its RSI is compliant, so there's no restriction on it. We would certainly look at it and discuss with the township engineer, and the homeowners are going to know whether they can have parking there or not. So I think they would govern themselves better than me making a decision.
but it is a compliant street.
It is a compliant street.
Thank you.
Well, when he says compliant, does he know how wide? Because if it's 32 feet wide, then my whole question goes away. But if it can, our size could mean 28 feet also. That just means 28 feet with no parking, or 30 feet with parking on one side. So saying RSI is compliant, I'm just trying to clarify. Now I understand that on the next block, on the next.
You have to talk about this ordinance.
I know, I'm saying on their development, on one of the blocks, they did agree at the planning board to send out a letter to all the homeowners that, you know, where they can park, where they can't park, this and that, but I believe over here was not set up.
The other issue with respect to this is it has a planning board approval, so we're going to do what the planning board approval says.
But you're willing to go to your client to ask them? if
Yes,
they consider the parking
absolutely,
areas where-
and if the planning board concurs that the no parking makes sense, then they would certainly put in the no parking sign.
That goes back to the planning board, but I understand what you're saying. Anyway, Brian's a great guy, he's really good stuff, he's top of the line. I can go watch boards in Jackson, but he's not there, so that's why I come here, only for Brian. Okay, thank you.
Well, I'll change it. Thanks, Brian. Thanks, Marshall. Anybody else like to be heard? So you know we will close the public hearing? Moved by Mayor.
I'll second. I just wanted to bring up one thing about this.
All right, second by Isaac. Discussion.
Yeah. Brian, I believe you discussed last time that you said your client would be willing to have a reverter, that should this project never get built, that the road will not be vacated.
That's perfectly fine.
That the vacation gets undone
Yes.
if you never build this project. So-
Yes, there's absolutely no objection to that.
Okay.
Thank you. Satisfied? Yeah. Any other discussion? Roll call, please.
Committeeman Ackerman?
Yes.
Committeeman Delia?
Yes.
Committeeman Lichtenstein?
Yes.
Mayor Coles?
Yes.
Ordinance carries. Ordinance of the Township of Lakewood County, Ocean State of New Jersey, amending an ordinance entitled Ordinance of the Township of Lakewood County, Ocean State of New Jersey, adopting the updated township personnel policy and procedures manual.
Moving to the public, would anybody like to be heard on this ordinance? See, nobody will close the public hearing. Moved by Isaac.
Second. I'll give it to Mike.
Second by Mike. Discussion. Roll call, please.
Committeeman Ackerman?
Yes.
Committeeman Delia?
Yes.
Committeeman Lichtenstein?
Yes.
Mayor
ordinance only. Would anybody like to be heard? Seeing nobody, will close the public hearing.
Motion.
Moved by Mike,
Second.
second by Mayor. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Committeeman Ackerman.
Yes.
Committeeman Delia.
Yes.
Committeeman Lichtenstein.
Yes.
Mayor Coles.
Yes.
Ordinance carries. Ordinance of the Township of Lakewood County, Ocean State of New Jersey, authorizing the mayor to execute a financial agreement by and between the Township of Lakewood and Abdi Estates Urban Renewal LLC pursuant to NJSA 48:20-1 et sec. For property located at lot 2.03 of lot 961, as shown on the official tax map of the Township of Lakewood, located in the Cedar Ridge redevelopment plan area.
We'll be reading to the public. Would anybody like to be heard on this ordinance? Seeing nobody, will close the public hearing.
Motion.
Moved by Mike,
Second.
second by Mayor. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Committeeman Ackerman.
Yes.
Committeeman Delia.
Yes.
Committeeman Lichtenstein.
Yes.
Mayor Coles.
Yes.
Ordinance carries.
Okay, ordinances for first reading.
Ordinance of the Township of Lakewood, County, Ocean State of New Jersey, changing the name of the street to Melrose Court from Garden Hills Drive pursuant to in accordance with NJSA 40:67-1K et sec.
Motion.
Move.
Moved by Mayor, second by Isaac. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Committeeman Ackerman.
Yes.
Committeeman Delia.
Yes.
Committeeman Lichtenstein.
Yes.
Mayor Coles.
Yes, ordinance passes, public hearing for March 7th.
Ordinance of the Township of Lakewood, County, Ocean State of New Jersey, authorizing the conveyance and execution of a deed of a fee simple interest of the County of Ocean for road widening for a portion of lot 62, block 11.12, New Egypt Road, County Route 528.
Moved by Mayor.
Second.
Second by Mike. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Committeeman Ackerman.
Yes.
Committeeman Delia.
Yes.
Committeeman Lichtenstein.
Yes.
Mayor Coles.
Yes, ordinance passes, public hearing scheduled for March 7th.
Ordinance of the Township of Lakewood, County, Ocean State of New Jersey, amending and supplementing Chapter 11 Chapter 12 entitled Traffic, specifically Section 12-26B entitled School Bus Loading and Unloading Zones on 6th Street.
Moved by Mayor. Second. Second by Isaac. Any discussion?
Yeah, I just wanted, has this been settled between all parties?
Probably not, but we're still going to go ahead. It was never an ordinance passed.
Okay.
Cover that, so.
Okay.
Any other discussion? Roll call.
Committeeman Ackerman.
Yes.
Committeeman Delia.
Yes.
Committeeman Lichtenstein.
Yes.
Mayor Coles.
Yes.
Ordinance passes. Second reading and public hearing on March 7, 2019. Ordinance of the Township of Lakewood, County, Ocean State of New Jersey, amending and supplementing Chapter 2 entitled Administration, specifically Article 5, Department of Finance. Further specifically Section 12.2-2.12-2.
Close enough.
I'll move.
Allowing the CFO to sign bills between meetings.
Yes.
Moved by Mayor. Second by Isaac. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Committeeman Ackerman.
Yes.
Committeeman Delia.
Yes.
Committeeman Lichtenstein.
Yes.
Mayor Coles.
Yes.
Ordinance passes second reading, public hearing for March 7, 2019. Ordinance of the Township of Lakewood, County of Ocean State of New Jersey, amending an ordinance to improve clarity and precision of previously adopted ordinances.
Moved by Mayor.
Second.
Second by Mike. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Committeeman Ackerman.
Yes.
Committeeman Delia.
Yes.
Committeeman Lichtenstein.
Yes.
Mayor Coles.
Yes.
There was a typo on the agenda, so the second reading for that ordinance will be March 28, 2019.
Thank you, David. Let's see, correspondence. Do we have a motion?
I'll motion to accept that, everything's fine and approve it.
Second.
Moved by Mayor, second by Mike. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion to approve the bill list for February 5th, 2018. Moved by Isaac.
Second.
By Mayor, any discussion? Roll call, please.
Committeeman Ackerman.
Yes.
Committeeman Delia.
Yes.
Committeeman Lichtenstein.
Yes.
Mayor Coles.
Yes. Comment from committee members. We'll start with Mayor tonight.
Well, thank you.
Mike?
No, thank you.
Isaac? Nothing. Everybody get home safely. Thank you for coming tonight.
Motion to adjourn.
Moved by Mayor.
Second.
Good night, everybody. Get home safely.
You can't put on. No.